Hello, welcome. So we're live in a couple of different places here. Thank you. If you are on live, let me know that you're there and watching. This is the final part in this masterclass series. So welcome to this third part. And the whole theme of the masterclass this week has been my 3 key ingredients to confidently teaching engaging yoga to children. And we've spoken a lot about planning, but then not using the plan so that we can adapt and really meet the needs of the children. We've spoken about not using stories because it locks us into the narrative and we're less able to modify and give the children really what they need to maximize the well-being potential of the yoga and mindfulness that we're offering. Today, we're talking more about us as teachers and how we can find the confidence. And today is probably going to be shorter. I want to cover 4 main points around this theme of trusting in ourselves to be able to provide the experience that our young people need. And then I'm going to tell you more about the class yoga training course for those of you who are excited by the prospect of getting out and confidently and competently being able to share all the incredible benefits of yoga and mindfulness with children. And our course is especially designed for you to go out and teach children between the ages of 4 and 12. So all through primary and then that little overlap into secondary school. So part 3 is trust in yourself as the teacher, but how to have confidence. And I'm going to touch on that element of trust, connection with our pupils, with our students, engagement, how we can get engagement, and we're going to speak a little bit about empathy. And really, it's only going to take 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to touch on these points. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts around this topic. So if you are watching this, I am hoping that you have experienced the benefits of yoga and mindfulness yourself. I did put that in the description. If you haven't, then, it's great that you're here anyway. But I'm really speaking to those of you who have been consistently doing yoga for yourself in personal practice for at least 1 year. And whether that's been online or in person in a studio, I don't mind. I teach yoga all online now. And, I think that's a great way to practice at the moment. But you've felt those benefits yourself and you feel an excitement and anticipation of getting out there and sharing everything that you're benefiting from with young people, whether you're a primary school teacher, a parent, or not, or something else. And you feel those, you kind of know how powerful the effects can be because you've experienced them yourself. So that's our starting place. We can't hope to teach something and share something if we're not doing it ourselves. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? The problem in our primary school system, and those primary school teachers here will resonate with this. I've been there. We're expected to do everything. And, I've heard from some primary school teachers, they're being expected to teach yoga and they don't have any experience. And not only is that applying so much pressure to you, the teacher, but it's detrimental to the children because you don't have the expertise yet. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's get back to this topic of how we can build our confidence in teaching yoga to children. First off, we have that personal experience, at least 1 year to really feel the effects. Probably less, but let's go with 1 year. And you do some training. I'm going to tell you about our training course shortly. Trust in yourself. So once you've got that experience and you've embodied it, you've felt it in yourself, know that you are then able, once you've had the training to, systemize it, you're going to be able to go out and share what you know because you felt it yourself with others. So trust in yourself as the teacher and the guide in your abilities, your knowledge and your experience to connect to the children, offer them what they need. Now, yesterday and the day before, I spoke about stories, and that story kind of locking you into the narrative, not being able to change and adapt your classes to the kids. Also, without using a story-based class, I really feel like I'm better able to connect with the children. So I'm able to connect to them on a deeper level, really kind of speak to them and get them to trust in me. I'm better able to notice them, how they are responding, and then adjust my class and my teaching to what they need more of or what they need less of. Without a story, I'm able to use things like affirmations, guided visualizations, definitely guided relaxations. So we can listen to the children, we can watch and respond to their needs. So that element of connection, I think, is vital that we don't get if we're too attached to our lesson plan that might be story-based. Questioning, also, internal inquiry, I feel is an essential part of our yoga class. We want to help the children turn inward. Stories, as I said yesterday, actually take them outward. So let's get rid of the story-based yoga. We want to help them with questioning to turn inward through internal inquiry, helping them to understand those inner feelings, those emotions, and then offering them a toolkit of ways to help themselves feel better when they need to. So just linking that back to this theme of confidence, trust in yourself once you've had that personal experience and you've had your training. Trust in your ability then to be able to teach and connect on a deeper level through using all the tools that you would have experienced yourself and learned on your training. Don't fall into that trap of feeling the need to have a story-based lesson plan. I understand. I've heard this from other teachers. They lose their confidence and they resort to a story-based yoga lesson plan. Okay, if this is you, I would love to help you raise that confidence back up. Maybe you didn't have it to start with. I can definitely build your confidence up so that you don't have to fall back on that story. Okay, so next is engagement. How do we get that engagement and that excitement from the children if we're not using something that's as fun and exciting as a story with all these characters and things in it? We trust in our knowledge, we trust in our experience, that's our personal experience and our training. And then we trust in our own ability through using our voice, our expression, our tone. So as primary school teachers, we have to be able to do this. We have to be able to modulate our voices effectively. And over time, those of you who perhaps haven't worked with children will be able to also do this. And it comes about very naturally once you're in front of the children. So I speak very differently to 4 and 5-year-olds as I do to 11 and 12-year-olds. Maybe that's obvious. But it's very important that we modulate our language, our voice, and our tone to the children that we have in front of us. If we can exude confidence, we can gain trust from the children. They will feel safe because they can tell that we're confident in what we're providing. Then they will feel excited and engaged to participate in your lesson. That means that they will gain the full benefit from it because they're actively participating, and then they will want to come back for more. And that's when they get the most benefit. Thank you for those of you who are watching live. Also, if you're watching the replay, please remember to post any comments or questions. Okay, so we're speaking about confidence. We've talked about trusting our abilities, our experience, and our training. Connecting to the children on a deeper level by not using stories. Engaging through using our voice and our intonation and our excitement, our passion. When we're excited, the children get excited. And then lastly, we're going to speak a little bit about empathy. We have to empathize with the children. This links to, believe it or not, behavior management. If we can appreciate why a child is behaving in a certain way, we can better respond to them. No child is naughty or bad. We might get bad behaviors in our yoga classes. We have a whole module to do with behavior management on the Class Yoga Teacher Training course, so we can definitely help you with that if it's something that you've either experienced or are anxious about. But if we've got those other things in place that I've just spoken about, there's less likelihood for you to have bad behaviors in your class. But empathy, we don't know what the child has experienced earlier that day. We don't know what that child is going to experience later on. All we can do in that moment, though, is respond to the child and give them what they need or what we feel that they need. And whether that's to calm, to nurture, to relax, or whether it's to raise their confidence through focus and challenge, or a whole combination of all of those things, they are going to benefit from your class. We never, on that note, know what they are taking away from your class. Obviously, they can tell you. Sometimes they do tell you, and it's wonderful when they share. But they might not see anything. And you might not know what they get from your class. But trust that they have taken away something. Every child is going to benefit from your class if you teach it in the right way that's appropriate to those children, that you've considered, you've thought it out, how to maximize the potential. Every child is going to take something away. You can plant the tiniest seed through something that you say or something that you offer that can change that whole child's life. And that's no exaggeration. You might not have the children tell you how they got on at the end of that particular class. They might tell you years later. You might find out years later how you helped them get through that day, that week, that month, that year, their life. Okay, so let's just wrap up and recap everything. We started out 2 days ago speaking about planning, but not planning, having a plan. On the Class Yoga Teacher Training course, we teach you how to have a go-to sequence from which we can vary, modify in so many different ways, depending on the age, the development, mental and physical of the children, the emotional state, anything that's going on in their life, so that you can best meet their needs. Not only does that maximize the wellbeing potential for those children in that class, it makes it easier for us. So much easier. We don't then really have to plan a lot of the time because we have our go-to sequence. We know how to modify it. We talk about planning, though, and considering classes, of course, on the training course. We role play over and over again for different scenarios. And not only is that going to help you to be able to teach and modify your classes confidently and competently, it's going to help with your behavior management so much. And then yesterday we spoke about stories, really, and I gave you all the reasons why I choose not to follow that method of, the story-based yoga for children. Go back and watch that one if you didn't catch it. Essentially, the main reason we want to be able to adapt and modify as we go. We also, as I touched on today, we want to be able to connect on that deeper level. And today I spoke briefly around how we can build our confidence as a teacher and not fall into that trap of feeling like we have to resort on stories and games and songs. And we can use we can use songs and we can use games. I mentioned this yesterday, but only as a small part of our class that enhances the overall class. So they're well thought out and planned. Where was I? Okay, connect. We want to connect on a deeper level to our children through not using stories, affirmations, guided visualizations, relaxations. So important. And they take up a big part of our training course as well. And then using your voice to engage, trusting in yourself. So we trust in I'm repeating myself once more, but it's so important. Trust in yourself through your experience, what you have experienced. You're going to have better intuition to offer it to somebody else. Trust in your training once you've done it. Maybe you've done training already. Maybe you want to do more. Maybe you haven't and you're being expected to teach yoga and mindfulness. That shouldn't be the case. Get in touch. I can help you. Get excited. That is going to get the children excited. That is going to help with behavior management. That is going to maximize the potential even further of what you can offer the children. Empathize with the children. Understand there's so much going on in their lives, whether they show it or not. And you, as that teacher, that provider of this special time for them to take time out of the rest of their life, you're offering them this toolkit. And whether you know it or not, you're impacting their life in this incredible way. That's when we've had everything in place and we know what to offer to maximize their well-being potential through these classes. Whew, okay. Any questions on any of that, do let me know. Send me a voice note, send me a private message, email me, hello@classyoga.com. I'm more than happy to speak on any of this or answer any questions. If you do feel excited, either to learn more, to become more confident, or to do your first training in how to teach proper, real yoga to children with mindfulness, I do invite you to join me on the next Class Yoga Children's Teacher Training course. We start on the 19th of March. That's the next round. It's a 5-week online course. Part of it is self-paced. You get 3 modules every week for 5 weeks. And you move through those 3 modules each week in your own time. At the weekend, we all come together via Zoom and we practice. And it goes amazingly well. I love Zoom. I think it's incredible. The functionality that we have now, we can have breakout rooms, you practice together, and you almost forget it's via the screen. I think so anyway, because you get to meet the rest of your group and you make friends for life. Go and check out on the Class Yoga website, you go to the training page and reviews. If you go to reviews, there's just so many stories from our graduates talking about the course, but also talking about how they've got on after the course. So if you're interested in this training, even in the slightest, go and check that out for sure. Okay, so my wish for you really is to either get on this path or continue this journey for your own benefit as well as the children. So on the Class Yoga training course, we teach you everything you need to get out there and confidently and competently teach yoga and mindfulness to children. We also include business coaching. So I understand that, you need more than just the tools to teach yoga to then go out and set up your classes. If you're a primary school teacher, you've kind of got it a bit easier because you're already in school and you're going to be sharing it there. But maybe you have these thoughts of actually running classes in other schools or after school clubs or in studios. Maybe that's your main business idea. So we can help you with that as well. So after the course, you'll feel more than confident to get out there, start teaching yoga to kids straight away. Believe me, you'll have all the confidence that you need because of the system that we move through during the course. And you have the potential to make your investment on the course back well within a month. Here we have reviews, as I mentioned, on the website that also talk about this. So 19th of March, that's when we start the next 5-week round. Head over to classyoga.com/TT to find out more about it. There's an info session as well, a brochure you can download to get all of the details. I'm here, as I said, if you have any questions whatsoever. Thank you so much for joining me for this session today and perhaps the previous 2 sessions over the last 2 days. I get so much joy talking about all of this stuff, and I can't wait for the next training round when we can actually get to know each other and talk about this stuff even more and go really in depth with learning what those kids need and sharing the benefits that we all feel ourselves. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you again soon.